number 6, substance in daily use. So let's see what is the substances. Now, as you know that in our surrounding there are many different types of substances. Okay, we can see many different types of substances. Now, what are these substances made up of? These substances are made up of very small particles. Okay, very small fine particles. Even you have seen how the chalk is made. The chalk is made up of small particles which are bound together and a chalk is formed. Okay, in the same way all the substances are made up of very small particles. Now objects are made up of substances. Now with these substances what do we make? We make objects. Now how does the object have how does the object look? They have specific shape, their parts have specific arrangement. Okay, and use different materials for making different object. For example, wood, plastic or steel. From this what do we make? From wood we can make different types of furniture. Plastic we can make table and chairs. From steel we can make cupboard. Okay, so these different things we can make from the different substances. So these are the objects which we are making from different substances. Okay, now these substance have a desired shape. Okay, they all have desired shape, means they have specific shape, and different arrangements are made in different objects. Okay, even these objects are having strength. Okay, if they don't have strength, then the substances are of no use. Okay, before catching only, if it breaks, then that substance is not useful for us in any sense. So what is important? The substance are made up of, from substance what things are made? Objects are made. Okay, and what for making objects from the substance what is required? Strength is required. Okay, what is required? Strength is required. Okay, so this is one of the properties of the substances. Okay, in this slide what we have studied, that all the substances are made up of very small particles, and from that substances different objects are made which have specific shape, arrangement, and even these substances have a strength required to make these articles. Now, in this lesson, even we are going to study about natural substances and man-made substances. Now, what are natural substances? So, natural, the word natural only tells us the things which are available in the nature is called as natural resources. The substances that is available in nature are called as natural substances. Now, these substances are obtained from the living things. Okay, the substances which are obtained from the living things, such as from air, soil, water. Okay, if the substances are obtained from these things, then the substance is called as biotic substances. And if the substances are not obtained from the living things, then they are called as biotic substances. We have studied the word biotic and abiotic in the first chapter, that is natural resources, air, water and soil. Okay, biotic means it is related, or the substances which are obtained from the living thing, that is air, soil and water, these substances are called as biotic substances. And the substances which are not made from air, soil, water or from any other living things, these substances are called as abiotic substances. I hope you have understood what is natural substances, what is biotic substances, and what is abiotic substances. Now, the next is animal origin and plant origin. Now, what does the animal origin means? Means what? The substances or the things which are obtained from animals are called as animal origin. Okay, we get few things from animals. For example, leather and wool. Okay, wool we get from sheep. So from sheep what we get? We get wool. So we have obtained some substances from the animals. So these substances are called as animal origin. Okay. These substances are called as animal origin. Whereas jute and cotton are the substances of the plant origin. Means jute and cotton. You have seen cotton plant, okay? So the cotton plant is the cotton is obtained from a plant. So this cotton is obtained from plant, so it is called as plant origin. Okay, the things which are obtained from animals are called as animal origin, and the things which are obtained from the plants are called as plant origin. Now let's see what is man-made substances. The new substances which are produced by processing the natural available substances are called as man-made things. Now what are natural substances? The things which are obtained from the nature are called as natural substances. Means the things which are easily available in the nature, that substances are called as natural substances. What are man-made? Now the man is a very intelligent person, okay? So what does he do? With his innovative ideas, he makes new substances, and these new substances produce by processing the natural available substances. Means whatever things which are easily available in the nature, he is processing that things and producing a new substance. So this new substance which is produced by processing the natural available substances are called as man-made substances. Now why man has made some man-made substances? Because as man's wishes are too much, so man, what does he do? He thinks of the future and the things which are very easily available for him. Now what he has invented a chair. Why he has invented chair? So he can sit comfortable on that chair. Okay, what is the other use? That in the cost of the substances is also less. Means even the man has kept the thing in mind that the people can use this thing with the help of cheap amount. Means not the cost is not high. The cost is not high of this substances, and this substance should be used greaterly in all the large scale also. So these substances can be handled by each and every person easily. So he had made some things. So that things are called as man-made things. Now, rubber. Now, the rubber are of two types. Okay, natural and artificial. Okay, rubber are of two types. In the chapter second, we have studied characteristics of living organism. In that characteristic, one of the characteristic was excretion. Now some plants excrete the unwanted things from the bark of the plant. We have seen that. So that unwanted thing is nothing but gum or sap of the trees. This gum or sap of the trees is called as latex. And this the rubber has a peculiar odor as well as white in color. Odor means smell, means it is having different smell. Okay, and what is the color? The color is white. Now what is the natural rubber? The natural rubber is obtained from the gums or the saps of the trees, and this sap is called as latex. Okay, what the sap is called? Latex. The rubber is having a peculiar smell. Odor means smell, and it is having a white in color. So this is about natural rubber. Now we will see what is artificial rubber. Vulcanization of a rubber. In this process, the rubber is heated for 3 to 4 hours. How many? 3 to 4 hours. So why the rubber is heated with sulfur? Because to give hardness to the rubber, the sulfur is mixed with it. Okay, the proportion of the sulfur mixture is determining by the purpose of the rubber will be used. Means for what purpose the rubber is going to be used, in that proportion the sulfur is mixed with the rubber. Okay, means what quality of rubber you want, that quality depends upon the proportion of the sulfur that is put in the mixture of rubber and sulfur and heated for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, now here you can see different products seen. You can see the eraser, rubber ball, rubber toys, even tires. Now, if I want the rubber to be harder and tough, so what should I do? I should add the proportion of the rubber and the sulfur should be more so that the rubber will get the hardness property. What will happen? The rubber will become hard because the tires have to revolve on the road. For revolving, it needs a strength, hardness or toughness of the tire should be produced in the rubber quality. Okay. Now here is the scientist, that is, his name is Charles Goodyear. He spilled a mixture of rubber and sulfur on the burning stove. Now why stove? Because in that period of time, there were no gases, so he had a stove. So what he did, he mixed the rubber and the sulfur together and he spilled this mixture on a burning stove. He kept the mixture on the burning stove. After some time, what did he observe? He observed that the rubber has become harder and less elastic. Okay, the rubber has started becoming harder and less elastic. He repeated this process and he invented the process of vulcanization. Okay, what is the process of vulcanization? The rubber and the sulfur is mixed, is heated for 3 to 4 hours. After heating, what we get that the rubber we get the property of the rubber as it has become harder and it has become less elasticity. So this process of heating the rubber along with sulfur is called as vulcanization. Now here you can see the example of tire. Now tires are hard and tough, made up of rubber. Okay, why they are hard and tough? Because they have to do the revolutionary change in the transportation. When the tires were invented, at that time the revolutionary change came in the transportation, means transport system actually came in invention. Okay, transport system was actually invented. Okay, when the tires were invented, so it is the revolutionary change in the transportation. Then next topic is paper. Now paper is a substance or the material formed due to the interweaving of the cellulose fibers. Now cellulose fibers are present in plant. Okay, it is present in grass, wood, rags and waste paper. So the paper is a kind of network of cellulose. Network means what? Interweaving means what? Which are interconnected with each other. Have you seen spider's web? It is webbed by interviewing the thread-like structure. In the same way, it is interviewing with the help of cellulose fiber. The paper is made in the form of interviewing of the cellulose fiber. Now let's see how the paper is made. Coniferous trees like pine. Now you have the example of the coniferous trees. Now these trees are generally used for making paper. Okay, they are generally used for making paper. Now how the paper is produced, the question may arise in your mind. The bark of the logs of these trees are first removed and the wood is broken down into the small pieces, and this mixture is soaked for longer time with some chemicals. Okay, some chemicals are added with this mixture and it is kept for soaking for a long period. Then what happens? After some time you will find that a pulp has prepared. When the pulp, when the chemical process is completed, the fibrous substances formed in the wood pulp are separated by adding dyes. Okay, and then pulp is passed through the roller and dried to the form of paper. Okay, I will show you the process of manufacturing paper. Okay, now here you can see tree. From the tree what is taken? Logs of wood are taken. Okay, now these logs of wood are peeled, means the bark is removed from the debarking of the logs is done, and the uh, wood is broken down into the small pieces. After uh, breaking down into the small pieces, some dyes or some chemicals are added to it, and a pulp is made out of it. Now this pulp is kept mixed for some time. After some time, what you see, then this pulp is pressed under the roller. Here you can see the roller, and the paper is dried, and the winding of the paper reels you can see. Okay, once again I'm telling you how the papers are manufactured. The woods are peeled, they are broken down into the small pieces. Some chemical dyes are added with it to form the pulp formed. So after some hours, this pulp is then put in the pressing roller. In this pressing roller, the paper is made into a thin sheet which is dried and rolled into the reels. So winding of the paper on the reels you can see here. Okay, this is how the manufacture of the paper is done. Now, synthetic fibers and threads. Now, there are innumerable kinds of synthetic or artificial threads available in the market. Now, when you go in the market and you ask for some thread, so immediately the shopkeeper will ask you which type of thread you want: nylon, Dacron, terylene, terrain, polyester, rayon. Okay, so there are this much kinds of synthetic threads or artificial threads available in the market. So let's see one by one. Now here in the picture you can see these are the artificial threads. Artificial threads means they are not made by, these are artificial made by adding some chemicals. Now the word nylon, how does the word nylon occur to this thread? What happened? These threads were invented in New York and London at the same time. Means at the same time, both the countries invented the thread. So initial letters of NY from New York and LON from London were combined, and the new word was formed, that is nylon. Now you can see the nylon threads. How the thread appears to be seen? They are shiny, they are strong, they are transparent, and they are water resistant. Water resistance means it does not soak the water, more water. They are used for manufacturing clothes, fishing nets, and ropes. So nylon, where they are used to manufacture clothes, fishing nets, or ropes. So nylon is used for making fishing nets, clothes, or even ropes. The next type of artificial thread is rayon. Now rayon is made up of cotton and wood pulp is dissolved in the chemical called as sodium hydroxide to make a solution. So how the nylon thread is prepared? Cotton taken from the cotton plant and the wood pulp which is dissolved in the chemical name as sodium hydroxide. So after mixing of this all chemicals, a new thread is obtained. So this with the help of machine, a new thread is obtained with the help of machine. So this thread is having shining strength. So this thread is called as synthetic silk. Okay, and as these types of clothes are appearing shining, you can see these clothes are having some shining bright like sun rays. So the name has been given as rayon, because these types of clothes, they are shining bright in the sun rays. So the name is given as rayon. Okay. Then the next type of thread is Dacron, terylene, and terrain. Now, various hydrocarbons obtained from mineral oils used to make polymer chain. Now, what are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons are the substance obtained from minerals. So what are hydrocarbons? The substance which are obtained from the mineral oils are called as hydrocarbons. Okay. And what is the meaning of polymer chain? The long continuous thread formed by the small interlinked chemical unit are called as polymer chain. Okay. Now, the various hydrocarbon obtained from the mineral oil are used to make polymer chain. The solution of such polymer are pressed through the strainer with a fine holes. The fibers formed after cooling are long, unbroken thread. So these threads are twisted to obtain a yarn. Okay. So how these threads are obtained? These are obtained from the mineral oil. Okay. And after obtaining this type of solution, what is happened? They are pressed in the strainer with the fine holes. So what happens to them? After cooling, you can see long and unbroken thread. Okay, then these threads are twisted to obtain a yarn. You can see here bundling of the yarn has been done. So it is a long continuous thread which is unbroken, and they are afterwards twisted to obtain the yarn. So different types of chemicals are used to make the thread of various properties. Okay, these are the two new words you can note down: hydrocarbons and polymers. The meaning of hydrocarbon is the substance obtained from the mineral oils, whereas polymer chain means the long continuous chain formed by the small interlinked chemical units. Now, what are the advantage of using such types of fibers, synthetic fibers? What are the advantage? They can be manufactured on mass scale, means they can be manufactured on large scale. The cost is also less. Then they are strong and durable, and they are used for longer time. Okay, means this type of clothes which are manufactured, they are manufactured on large scale, as the price is also less, so people purchase these types of clothes. Even they have the strong and durable, uh, means they have the strength of the cloth is also strong and durable. Then they can be used for longer time, means this type of clothes, they does not get damaged or torn quickly, as they are strong, so they remain for longer time. They are water repellent, means they don't rot or they don't get wet, they dry easily. Okay, in rainy season we prefer these types of clothes, because in rainy season clothes does not dry very fast. So if we are wearing these types of clothes, what will happen? The clothes will dry very easily, as these types of clothes are water repellent. Water repellent means they get dry easily. They are light in weight and comfortable to wear. Again, what is the other advantage? They are very light in weight, so you don't feel when you are wearing the dress, you don't feel that yes, it is very too heavy for me to carry. So it is very light in weight, and you are very comfortable in this type of clothes. As they are shining, their appearance and the wear also enhance. As they are having the shining property, the clothes also look very rich after wearing. The appearance also look as a richer appearance. And the clothes are made of these types of clothes generally, they are wrinkle free and scratch free, means you don't need to iron these types of clothes again and again, because they are wrinkle free and you don't see any scratches on the these types of clothes. Then what are the disadvantage of this? They are water repellent, so they don't absorb the sweat from the skin. Means what happens? In summer season we sweat a lot, so that sweat is not absorbed by the clothes. So what will happen? There may be cause of skin disease. If the clothes are not absorbing the sweat, what will happen? Then we may suffer from some skin disease, and we are not comfortable in these types of clothes. We feel very hot in these types of clothes. So in summer season generally we prefer cotton clothes. Okay, synthetic fiber catches fire easily. So this is one of the most important disadvantage, that they catches fire easily. And if they catch fire, they stick to the skin. And if they stick to the skin, what will happen? We will have serious injuries. We have studied in food safety in the chapter disaster about the serious injuries, burns. These fibers are not decomposed by microorganisms. So these fibers are not decomposed by microorganisms, means they remain as it is. As you know that plastic is also not decomposed by microorganisms, so there is ban on plastic. So these types of fibers are also not decomposed by microorganisms. So this is one of the advantage of using these types of clothes. Then, what we have studied in this lesson, that we have to save the trees to save the nature. Why we have to save the trees? Because from trees, what we get paper. So what we use the paper? So whatever papers we are using, that paper should be used properly and economically. We should not waste the paper. Okay, then from paper the recycling of the paper can be used, means the paper from this, whatever waste papers are there, the papers which we give like this only, that papers are recycled and again used as paper. So this is the good quality of the paper, that we can use it by recycling. Then there are some disadvantages in synthetic fibers, that they catch fire. They are used in they should be used in proper ways. They should reduce the load on the use of natural resources. Means what? The natural resources load should be less, so we should prefer the use of synthetic fiber. But if we are preferring synthetic fibers, we have to use it very carefully, because these types of clothes can catch fire and they can produce harm to our self. Then again, in this chapter, we have studied that there are two different types of materials, that is natural substances and man-made substances. Whereas natural substances, we have studied biotic and abiotic. What is biotic? Biotic means the things which are obtained from the living things such as air, water, and soil. They are called as biotic materials, whereas abiotic means they are not obtained from the natural resources. Then we have studied about the plant origin and animal origin. Okay, plant origin means the things which are obtained from plants are called as plant origin, and the things which are obtained from the animal origin are called as animal origin. Then we have studied in this lesson how the rubber is prepared, how the paper is prepared, how the synthetic fibers are made. So these are all important things that man has made. These are man-made materials and which are used in daily purposes. These are used in day-to-day life. So rubber, paper, and synthetic fibers are man-made things, are made by the man, and these things are used in day-to-day life in larger scale. Then man-made materials are also obtained by using certain processes. Okay, so we have come to the end of the slide lesson. So let's see the